Each year, thousands of patients are told their only hope is a new heart, but the wait list is so long and time is so short.
According to the Victor Chang Cardiac Research Institute, heart failure affects more than 23 million people worldwide every year. Yet there are only 6,000 available donors. What can be done?
Well, this speech will focus on the heart's function, a much-needed medical appliance called the artificial heart and its history.
But before we begin, feel your heartbeat, either on your neck, your chest, or your wrist. Count the number of beats you feel for 30 seconds, then multiply that number by 2. That is your heart rate. Is it fast or slow?
Now, learning about what the heart is and how it functions is important because the heart is the second most vital organ in our body next to the brain. With that being said, we will discuss what the heart is, the parts of the heart, and their functions. So let's dive into a short overview of the heart.
The heart is the main organ in the circulatory system with the size of about a human fist. Its biggest function is to circulate blood throughout the body. Blood is able to bring oxygen and nutrients to your cells, as well as take carbon dioxide and other waste to organs that dispose of them.
I'll first be talking about the major blood vessels connected to the heart. The superior vena cava and the inferior vena cava are the ones that bring all the used blood from the body back into the heart. The blood is blue here because all the oxygen has already been dropped off. According to Cleveland Clinic, the large red vessel at the top is the aorta. This is the main exit door for the heart. It carries all the newly cleaned and oxygen-rich blood out to the rest of your body. Lastly, we have the pulmonary arteries. Even though they're shown in blue, they're arteries because they move blood away from the heart. They carry all the used blood right to the lungs to pick up good oxygen.
The heart has 4 chambers, and the part we see here is the auricle. The auricle is actually an extension of the atria, which are the upper chambers responsible for receiving blood as it returns to the heart. You can think of the auricle as a storage area that temporarily holds blood before it moves down to the lower chambers. As Shanitha said, the blood comes in through the superior vena cava and inferior vena cava, which empty the used blood into the right side of the heart, going in ready to be sent to the lungs.
According to the Cleveland Clinic, the small blue blood vessels we see toward the bottom of the heart are called the coronary arteries and veins. Coronary just means of the heart. The right coronary artery and the left coronary artery are like tiny hole pipes that connect to the aorta to give oxygen-rich blood directly to the heart muscle. The circumflex artery and the left anterior coming down into the artery are 2 important branches of the left coronary artery. They all make sure every part of the heart gets the blood it needs. The blood that the heart muscles use is collected in the great cardiac vein and flows back into the coronary sinus to be returned to the main blood flow.
To conclude, let's look at the diagram as a whole. This image is basically a detailed view of the heart's outer layer. As shown earlier, we can see all the different vessels and sections of the heart, each one either bringing in blood or taking it out, which gives the heart muscles its own energy, kind of like a self-regulating system.
Now that you know how the heart functions, here's a quick question for you to test your knowledge. What part of the heart pumps in used blood? Option A, the superior vena cava and the inferior vena cava. Option B, the coronary arteries. Option C, the circumflex artery. And option D, auricle.
Now looking at the way the heart functions, how could this be molded in a technological way? The artificial heart is a technological advancement that has been developed over time. Let's look at the history.
In the past, most medical devices were very limited and not very reliable, but over the years, these devices have been improved and are much safer for people to use today. One example of the artificial heart, the idea first came up in 1812 when Julian Jean Caesar Goya suggested the theory of mechanical circulatory support. However, this idea did not become a reality until much later.
Almost 100 years after Legawa, two scientists named Charles Lindbergh and Alexis Carrel worked together to create a working blood pump after several failed attempts. They also built a device similar to the artificial heart to help keep the body working. In 1937, Dr. Vladimir P. Demikov invented a total artificial heart that used an outside pump and a graft that went through the skin. He also performed the first bypass surgery and chest organ implant.
Dr. John H. Gibbon Jr. thought of a machine that could take over the job of the heart and lungs after he saw a patient collapse during a surgery. He believed that if blood could be moved outside the body and then back in, the patient could survive. He built a machine that he tested on rats, and it worked. Later at Jefferson Medical College, he introduced the IBM Model 1, which worked well for dogs, but not for humans.
The next version is IBM Model 2. This was made for people, but sadly 3 children died while using it, so research stopped immediately. Later, Model 3, called the Mayo Gibbon type oxygenator, was made, and it saved hundreds of lives. In 1957, Dr. Tetsuzo Akusu and Dr. William Cove of Cleveland Clinic were the first to successfully implant a total artificial heart in an animal, which lived for 1.5 hours. In 1982, the first permanent artificial heart was given to a patient named Barney Clark at the University of Utah. In 2001, the first self-contained artificial heart, called the Abicor, was tested for humans for the first time.
Now, with learning about the history of artificial hearts, how does it work? It has been used and modified in many ways over decades of technological advancements, undergoing many improvements, including being able to completely replace the heart. According to the Bivacor article, removal of the native ventricles allowed the device to completely replace the function of the native heart.
This artificial heart is made to basically copy the real one. It has a protective plastic casing and is about the same size, weighing about 900 grams. It has 2 ventricle cavities, just like the real heart has. The most important part of this whole process is the surgical operation. Surgeons need to very carefully connect the device straight to the patient where the diseased heart is removed. This connection is made where the used blood enters the top chamber through the auricles to make sure the blood flow is going straight into the artificial heart for pumping.
I am now going to talk about how exactly this device is built to pump blood. Now, the heart doesn't use muscles here. The heart doesn't use muscles here, but uses a hydraulic compartment to beat. Inside the 2 ventricle cavities are 4 mechanical valves to make sure the blood only moves in one direction. The cavities themselves are separated by a flexible wall called a double-sided biomembrane. This membrane is what makes the blood pumping action. This action is controlled by 2 motor pump units. These motors alternatively displace a liquid called the actioning fluid. When this fluid is withdrawn, the membrane pulls back and sucks the blood back into the heart. This is basically the filling phase.
Now, I'm going to talk the materials and the power of the pump. The materials are different and unique, so the body does not reject them. The left side of the membrane is usually made for cow heart tissue. It is treated properly to make it biocompatible. The motors and the fluid pumps are made of a very strong plastic called polyurethane. Next is the second phase of the beat, the pump phase. After the heart fills up, the motors push the actioning fluid back, which forces the membrane to push the blood out into the body's articles. Atreus. This device is built to last for a very long time. According to the AFP, the current models are made to last up to 5 years, which is about 230 million heartbeats, which is a lot of time to help a patient suffering with heart failure.
To wrap things up, we need to know how this motor-driven heart gets its energy in the first place to last for 5 years. The heart runs on an external battery pack that gives it around a 5 to 6 hour autonomy. This means the patient can move around freely for that time. When the battery is low, it is connected to an external charger by a cable that passes safely through the skin. This keeps the heart beating constantly. We already heard about the plastic casing and the two pumping phases and the motor system. To help with their understanding and seeing things visually, of course, we have a short video.
Artificial hearts have a hard plastic protective casing and weigh 900 grams. They operate like a natural human heart, have two ventricles and even beat. Implanting an artificial heart involves cutting the failing heart under the auricles to ensure blood flow to the organs. A biocompatible interface is sutured to the auricles. The device, comprising two ventricular cavities and 4 valves, clips onto this interface. Both ventricular cavities are divided into 2 parts, each separated by a double-sided biomembrane. The left membrane, for the blood, is made of cow heart tissue. It is treated to avoid the body rejecting it. The other, for the actioning fluid and motor pumps, is made of polyurethane. The heartbeat is produced in a 2-phase process. The 2 motor pump units alternatively displace the actioning fluid contained in a flexible external bag. When the hydraulic compartment empties, the withdrawal of the biomembrane sucks blood into the ventricle. When it fills up, the biomembrane pumps blood into the arteries. Biological admission and ejection valves ensure the blood only flows in one direction. The battery has a 5 to 6 hour autonomy and is linked up to an external charger via a cable through the skin. Current models are due to last for 5 years, the equivalent of about 230 million heartbeats.
Looking back, medical appliances like the artificial heart will continue to benefit our health and be a crucial part of our innovative history. Now, how do you think the development of the artificial heart can impact our future? Just think about it.
As you listen to your heartbeat, remember how important it is for your health and daily functions. It works every second of your life to keep you alive and healthy. So take care of it and be thankful for the science that can help save lives.
Thank you.
Thank you for watching.